throw it over
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm not going to hit it right now, but if I need to, I can come back to it. As opposed to walking back through 20 slides to get to the one that someone asked a question on. You just sort of zoom around and get there.
What was the next step after the inspiration? How did you start building the app?
Well, I wasn't in the company at the time, but I know the story. So the next step, so the app was already in its nascent form. The three guys founded the company, and Peter Halachi took over product development and technology leadership. And Peter Arvai, the CEO, said, "Okay, now we gotta to get this company out there. We have to get some money. So who would be the right person to raise money from?" So they thought about a couple of possibilities, and they were working with Magyar Telecom at the time, and that was a possibility. But Peter said, it would be the ideal company to give us money. That'd be TED conferences. Why don't we,
Yeah.
TED conferences is about spreading great ideas. Prezi is about spreading great ideas in a new way, in a more engaging way. So the guys went up and presented to TED, and TED, is not in the business of funding companies, but TED said, this company is exactly in line with what we're trying to do, and yes, we will be one of your investors. They raised enough money and were growing so fast that the board then said, "Wow, you guys are growing so fast in Europe and growing so fast worldwide. Why don't you incorporate? You need to move to US incorporate because that's the big market." So even though you had three Hungarians that had built a team in Budapest, they said, "Let's do it. Let's two of us go over to Silicon Valley. Let's
Mm-hmm.
establish a San Francisco office, and let's go for the gold. Let's go for the global market. Let's tackle the US market." And so they did that, and we've been growing ever since. We've been growing about 300 to 500 thousand people a month.
Oh,
Since I've been on in the last 6 months, we've gone from 1.8 to 4.3 million registered users. So it's a pretty astounding growth clip.
yes, it is. Can you share with us some plans for the future of the app?
Well, so if once you get to know our app, you can probably deduce what those plans are. So we have a web app, which is our primary app, which we're winning the award for. We also have a desktop app. So if you're an enterprise user and want to do offline editing, you can buy a license, which will give you access to a desktop app. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this year, as soon as the iPad came out, well, not as soon as the iPad came out, as soon as the iPad came out, our customers were clamoring to get an iPad app because the zooming nature of Prezi makes the user experience on a touch screen so obvious. Even on a non-touch screen, people want to touch Prezi because of the Z-axis and because of the experiential nature. So our customers like, do an iPad app, and we did. We jumped on that, and so we have web app, desktop app, iPad app, serving different audiences: education audience, small to medium business audience, and enterprise audience. So if you can think about what the needs of those various audiences are, you can imagine the trajectory of our product.
Do you have any specific plans for the company? Develop a new app?
Again, I can't really talk about our roadmap, but certainly we want to continue following where our customers are going, and our customers are thought leaders in education, thought leaders in business. They're people that actually are really tired of the old way of doing things. They don't want to just a linear set of slides. They want to take their audiences on a journey, on a visual journey. And these customers we listen very closely to and say, what do you need to do that more effectively? And then we build that into our product or our suite of products.
Can you give us some tips? Can you give developers or young entrepreneurs some tips on how to create their first app?
Um, Sure. I don't know, since I wasn't in Prezi in the beginning. I'm not the person to do that. Um, let me just give you tips. I have started a company. I think
Correct.
I'm going through a pretty dramatic journey. I think the most important thing is find a true problem, find a real problem that needs to be solved, and understand that problem and talk to people and really get what is it about that problem that is not solved in the current solutions there today, and then go after that and really focus in on that and understand the competitive landscape, understand what your competitors are doing to try to solve that and what you're doing differently. And then focus, 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 focus. Focus and execution are the two words that I think are the most important words in getting a concept from that conceptual stage to a product. I often say, an unexecuted idea is simply an idea. So at some point, you need to stop talking about it and do it, and then execute it and continue to focus. One other thing I guess I would say is user experience is critical. And it's becoming more critical every day. So knowing how people are interacting with the kind of apps in your space and really doing something that's different in that user experience and more intuitive in that user experience is really important as well.
Any web apps that you yourself use and would like to share with us?
Yeah, well, I'm sort of a meat and potatoes productivity app guy. Anything that makes me more efficient and effective. The Google apps certainly. The Dropbox, you send it. So all of the productivity apps that I use on email are the big apps for me. From an entertainment standpoint, I guess I would say Pandora. I mean,
Okay.
While I'm trying to be efficient, I'm listening to music at the same time. So.
Okay, that's good. Anybody you or your company would like to thank for winning this award?
Well, certainly I have to thank the founders, and in particular, Adam Shumley Fisher for coming up with an amazing idea. But all of the founders for not only coming up with that idea, but deciding to build it into a product that they could offer to the world, as opposed to just a few people.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for AppAppeal for us?
Yeah, I mean, you've built an amazing site. I really appreciate the thoroughness of your site and the simple structure. I mean, you can go into AppAppeal and find anything. Great search ability as well.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. What are your favorite apps?
Personally, or AppAppeal's favorite apps?
You can't answer for AppAppeal, but
personally, I even wrote a blog article about that.
Okay.
My personal favorite are Google Docs, because I use them a lot at the university. Then I use geocaching, because I like to do interesting stuff, travel around using GPS to find hidden caches and put some of my personal stuff or write something down there like I have been here. Well, thank you for your time and for this interview. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and on behalf of AppAppeal, we wish Prezi all the luck, and may we hear more things and great things from you, as we expect we will.
You will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you as well. Thank you for the award and thank you for the interview.
Okay, have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Bye.